Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Word Podcast, a place where real thoughts, real ideas, and real words come to life. I'm your host, Drew, coming from San Diego, California. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking out the channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Hit up those links down below. And now we can get into the episode. It is Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. It is 6:15 on the dot. Welcome in, welcome in. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. What do we have going on today? Wanted to give you guys a little update about what's been going on over the last couple of days with me. Want to talk a little bit about the Padres, how they've been doing. Wanted to talk maybe a little bit about some Trump stuff. And then the stimulus checks, how we're probably not going to be getting a second one. And then maybe a couple of other things as well. So got a few things to go over and talk about today. I did not do an episode of the Real Word Podcast on Monday. I woke up that morning. I got a terrible night's sleep. Woke up that morning. It was really late, and I just wasn't doing very good mentally. And yeah, I probably barely got any sleep. I probably only got a couple hours of sleep that night, and it was just really rough. Wasn't feeling it. Just decided to kind of just take the day off as far as that went, which was fine. You know, I guess I kind of needed it. Wasn't feeling it. Just wasn't feeling any good at all. So I just, took that day off and just kind of chilled out for a majority of the day. But then me and Zach were texting a little bit, and he sent me a picture of some of the yard work that he was doing at his house. And I said, man, hey, if you need help, I can come over and help you and, you know, dig some trenches, whatever is needed. I'll kind of help out. I used to do that. I used to do landscape type yard work, dig trenches for a while, probably about 10 something years ago now. But it was good. It was just on this guy's property. It wasn't like a legitimate job or anything. Like, you know, it was all under the table and just a few times a week, couple times a week, and it was a good experience. It got me learning a lot about laying PVC pipe and, you know, digging trenches and building retaining walls and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, interesting stuff. And you know, I said I would help him out. He said, if you don't mind. And then so I got over there around like 2 or something like that, and put in a couple hours of digging, loosening up the dirt in the backyard where he lives and stuff. And yeah, at first I went a little hard, and got a couple blisters on my hands and stuff. And so I had to kind of take it careful. After like 30 minutes, I was like, damn, I went too hard. And yeah, my hands started getting blistered and made it a little tough to kind of work, but I was able to maneuver it, make it work, and I was able to help him out. And I thought we made some pretty good progress. I know he's just super busy with life going on right now. He has a lot going on, so I was more than happy to be able to help out. Him and his wife have been, you know, really good friends since I met them. They've been very welcoming and just been great people, you know, and let us come over. They cook for us all the time when there's like, we go over, watch wrestling or whatever. So, you know, they've been extremely generous. So it's like, and I used to do that kind of stuff in the backyard that they were doing. So it's like, might as well offer. That's what friends are for, you know? And he even said, like, you know, people offer help all the time, but it's like, you never know what's legitimate or not. And it's like I always try and say things I mean, you know? And that's just me personally. I always try and just like, if I offer it, I mean it. And it's like, but I understand what he says, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm there if you need it, or hey, if you need help, just hit me up. And then you do, and there's no response, or hey, I'm busy, or oh, no, I can't do it, or, you know, there's just a lot of that. So I kind of get it. I definitely get it. But it was a cool time. It was good time for me. Like I said, I was not doing well mentally that day. So it's like, I'm glad he said it was cool for me to come over, got me out of the house, got me outside, got me doing some physical work. I'm still pretty sore. Like, my body's a little sore from doing that work. I haven't done that kind of work in quite a while. So it was good. It was good. And yeah, we kind of just chilled afterward, had some food, and yeah, I took off maybe 6-7 o'clock, somewhere around there. And yeah, it was a good time. It turned out to be, you know, pretty decent. It's just that beginning of the day, getting no sleep and all of that. It was rough. It was a struggle, you know, early part of the day. But, you know, it is what it is. That infamous saying that everybody says. It's like one person thinks that they made it up, but it's like, I've been saying that saying thanks to Max Holloway, the UFC fighter. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. But yeah, let's get into this snap here. I had this Northern Lights, this last snap of this Northern Lights here. So we'll get into that. And I brought some fresh stuff. This Hercules from Ronin. That's the stuff my dad got. I got Superman OG, but we both split it up and got half and half of each. So right now I got the Hercules out here, but first we're gonna get this Northern Lights here. This stuff was pretty good, so let's get into that. And yeah, this was from Classics, man. I'm telling you, if you go back and listen to the Tuesday Morning Tokes from yesterday, you'll hear me give Classics, that brand, a shout out, and how I really like their packaging. It looks like a VHS, so pretty cool, pretty nostalgic, and you know, everything I've had from them has been really fire so far. So I've had 3 strains: the Jack, Blue Dream, and now the Northern Lights. I think those are the 3 we've had. So pretty cool, pretty good stuff. And it's just I just really enjoy the packaging, honestly. Like, they'll get me for that. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. If it's cool, if it's nostalgic, if it's, you know, if it just connects with me, that's I'm sold, you know. But this Ronin brand is good. 5 grams for like $40, and it's like fire stuff. I'm pretty stoked on it. So shout out to that brand as well. I was just talking about this yesterday in the Tuesday Morning Tokes. It's so hard to have brand loyalty within the cannabis market because there's so much to try. There is, and the inconsistencies there's like, I was messing with this Ronin stuff for a while, and then all of a sudden the last few times it wasn't there, and then all of a sudden it pops up again, you know. So kind of what I was talking about yesterday with the Tuesday Morning Tokes, and just how there's this inconsistency with it. Anyway, let's get into this. Cheers. Alrighty. So what is going on today? I wanted to talk a little bit about the Padres. Man, they killed it yesterday, man. Yeah, let's just read some of this article. I don't think I'll read the whole thing. It's a little long, but it's from ABC News. I believe this is the local ABC 10. Because I recognize this name, Bernie Wilson. I think Ben and Woods has had that guy on. Anyway, let's get into this. It says Slam Diego is back. Mike Clevenger was the beneficiary en route to his first win with the Padres. Excuse me. Will Myers homered twice, including San Diego's 7th grand slam of the season. Austin Nola hit a 3-run shot, and Clevenger was impressive in his home debut for the Padres, who routed the Colorado Rockies 14-5 Tuesday night. Clevenger gave up a 3-run home run to Nolan Arenado just 4 batters into the game, but the Padres got it all back and more in the bottom of the inning. Yeah, and I'll just say, when I was watching that first inning, I was like, man, I'm really stoked, psyched, whatever, on this Clevenger guy. I watched him the last game. He was a little nervous, wasn't quite there. And then all of a sudden he gives up this 3-run shot to Arenado. I was like, oh, great. But I didn't panic. I was just like, man, here we go. I was just like, that stings a little bit. But right away he got into it, got control, and then the Padres got up in the first, and their first hit of the game was a grand slam. It's like, I don't know what, so it was like a walk. So walk the first 2 batters, and then, was it walk the first 3? I think it walked the first 3, hit, one guy got out, threw and hit one guy to walk in a run, and then Myers came up and grand slammed. I believe that was a sequence of it. So yeah, it was their first hit of the game was a grand slam. That is just crazy. Clevenger even wore a Slam Diego headband during his post-game Zoom call with the media. This guy is just awesome, man. Like, I mean, he wore a Black Lives Matter shirt, which is, yeah, I can't really get on board with that. So that was a little frustrating. But other than that, everything I've seen so far from the guy has been pretty fucking awesome. And, he's been, I guess, I was listening to the broadcast last night. He's really involved with charity and giving back to the community, and that the Sunflower has something to do with a charity organization and giving back to kids, I think. So, everything I'm hearing about this guy is pretty awesome. I don't like the Black Lives Matter, propaganda shirt and all that because of what the organization represents. Of course, the sentiment of Black Lives Matter is there 100%. But all lives matter. Like, let's stop separating shit into race, And that's just my opinion. Quote, that was probably the biggest part of my whole entire night was after I leaked that pitch there to Arenado and he put it in the seats and looked around and see not any shred of doubt on any face, Clevenger said. Nobody was down besides me because I made a bad pitch. Everybody was so stoked to go hit once we got back in. They were like, okay, let's go bang up. Before this game, I even said we're going to score 2 touchdowns tonight, just joking around. And we did. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Like, the fact that he said that, like, pre-game, like, I think that was just kind of within the clubhouse or whatever. But for him to say we're going to score 2 touchdowns and them to go and actually put up 14 runs, which would be 2 touchdowns and, the 2 extra points. That's just insane, man. That's so awesome. Pretty crazy. The Padres once again showed their remarkable ability to bounce back from a deficit. Quote, we've just got a different group of guys. It's a bunch of dogs that is waiting to eat at all times, Clevenger said. The Padres, cruising towards their first postseason appearance since 2006, won their 3rd straight and for the 7th time in 9 games. Man, they're just on fire. Myers hit a slam in the 5-run first inning, then homered leading off the 7th to match his single-game high of 5 RBIs. His 11th homer gave him his 8th career multi-homer game. The Padres have hit 6 grand slams since August 17th. They were the first team in history to hit a grand slam in 4 straight games, with Myers hitting the 2nd one and then the first two hit 5 and 6 games. That is so awesome, man. Just in the history books for just hitting grand slams, man. And just how perfect, just how seamless Slam Diego is to San Diego. It's just like it makes all the sense in the world. It's perfect. I don't know if it was Don Orsillo who came up with it. I don't know where it originated, but I remember hearing him say, "Welcome to Slam Diego" on that just like iconic call. And yeah, I don't know if it was him, but it just works so well with the Grand Slam and with how this team has been playing, man. It's been really fun to watch. Yeah, the Padres scored 5 runs in each of the first 2 innings, highlighted by Myers slam with 1 out in the first. Starter Chichi Gonzalez lasted just 5 batters after walking the first 3, striking out Mitch Moreland, and then hitting Austin Nola to bring in a run. And then the new pitcher, Jose, I didn't get his last name, came on for his big league debut, and on his second pitch gave a Myers slam into the home run porch in the right field corner. It was Myers' 10th home run and second grand slam of the season. What is this quote? Who is this from? Oh, so this is from Myers. Quote, "To predict grand slams, that's kind of a hard thing," Myers said. "There's a little bit of luck that goes into that in situations. Just shows what this team is capable of doing. It's very explosive offense with a lot of great players in it. Up and down the lineup, 1 through 9, can really go out and do some damage. That's really been the biggest factor this year." So yeah, man, it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome, man. Good stuff. Shout out to the Padres. They are just getting it done. It's fun stuff. Fun stuff to watch, man. It really is. It's I mean, I saw a tweet from somebody on like Padres Twitter. It's like they said, "I've always loved baseball. I've been watching baseball. I've always loved baseball. Never stopped loving baseball, but this team has brought out like a new love, a new passion for the game." It's like I feel the same way. It's like I've always watched the Padres. I've always been a Padres fan. I've always, enjoyed it. But, with that since my lifetime, I was too young during that 96, 98 era right there. I was like 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, Too young to really be aware of what's going on. But, throughout my entire life, it's just been struggles. There's been glimpses, but then struggles. Glimpses, struggles. And now to see this team come together and how it's formed and just the pieces that are there, it's like this team is just so fun. It's really exciting. And I love it, man. I love it. And, some of it could have to do with the, with the shortened season, with it being a pandemic season. I don't know, but all they can do is go play the games that they can play, the schedule that's put out in front of them, the season that was agreed upon. But the cool thing is, a lot of these guys are going to be around for the next couple of years, the next few years at least. So, I think this team will be good and for a while. They just have to get that experience and just continue gaining that momentum and just doing what they have to do. And we'll see what happens. But so far this season, I am impressed. I like what I see. It is a fun team. It seems like, even when they've lost, it's like, man, they probably shouldn't have lost that one. But, it's you win some, you lose some. But it feels like when they get down, like in the first inning last night, you never feel out of it. It's like I was a little like, oh man, here we go. It could get bad. But then Clevenger just stepped up and did his thing and showed why he was brought in. And then the offense really stepped up. And it was the first time ever that the Padres had 2 5-run innings in the first and second inning. I think Jesse Agler had that stat, tweeted that out, saying that, yeah, first time ever went the first 2 innings, scoring 10 runs. So pretty insane. Pretty insane stuff. So shout out to the Padres. Let's get into this bud right here. I got to grind some of it up. It's the Hercules. Doesn't look that great. They probably could have trimmed it a little bit better. Could have used a little bit better of a trim job, in my opinion, but it smells good, and other than, you know, having some water leaf and stuff, it looks pretty good. So we'll get into some of this. Throw it in the grinder. And have a little smoke. All right, I have the next article all set and ready, so we're gonna get into that in just a second. Just a minute, we will get into that. Man, I'm so bummed with the internet lately. It's been just completely shut down. Just been going like off and on, which is just really frustrating. And so it makes it so I can't really play the Call of Duty game and all of that. I'll be watching a YouTube video and then all of a sudden it'll just stop, freeze out of nowhere, and I have to like reset stuff. It's just been super frustrating. It's been like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now that it's been doing this. And it's like I look at the outage maps and it's all over the country. All over. Whether it's from T-Mobile. T-Mobile had less throughout the whole country, but it was still spread out. And then Spectrum was all across the country. Like Netflix was all across the country. YouTube was all across the country. Like there was a ton of things, and it all had to do with this CenturyLink outage or down. Something happened with CenturyLink. I don't know what happened. I haven't really looked into it too much, but CenturyLink, I guess, is in control of a bunch of these internet services. They like all these services run it through the CenturyLink. I don't know exactly what it is, and I don't know what happened, but something happened on CenturyLink's end, and it has messed up like everything. And it's just driving me crazy, man. It really is. So frustrating dealing with slow or messed up internet, Wi-Fi, and all that. Cause then even like the data on the like just the internet through the phone doesn't work. Like even if it's not on Wi-Fi, it just makes it really difficult to deal with. Really frustrating. But it's like we've just gotten so used to relying on the internet, relying on our phones and stuff, that when it happens, it becomes so heightened and so highlighted. And it's like, gotta be aware of that. Can't let that happen. Anyway, let's get into this. It's the Hercules from Ronin. Cheers. It's my first try of this. Ever. I don't think I've ever had a Hercules strain. Maybe. But I don't think so. Not bad. Not bad at all. A little bit more smooth than I thought, you know, especially with all the water leaf and everything. Not a bad smoke right there. All right. So this is something I read this morning. I think I was on Twitter. I think I saw Ben Askren tweet something saying that Trump is to pull troops out, bring troops home tomorrow, I think is what he was saying. And I was like, what the heck? And so I went on my news app and brought this up So this is from Politico. It says U.S. to pull 1,200 troops from Iraq as Trump looks to fulfill campaign promise. Trump is expected to also announce a reduction of troops in Afghanistan in the coming days. The United States plans to withdraw 1,200 troops from Iraq by the end of September as President Donald Trump seeks to fulfill campaign promise to end America's, quote, endless wars. The withdrawal will bring the United States troop level in Iraq down to 3,000, said General Frank McKenzie, commander of the United States Central Command. He announced the troop withdrawal during a ceremony for Operation Inherent Resolve, the global coalition to defeat the Islamic State militants, with Iraqi's Minister of Defense. El Ministre of Defense. That's Manny Machado's nickname. That's funny. I believe that's what Minister. I could be off with that, but I think that's Manny Machado's nickname. That's hilarious. Trump has campaigned on ending America's wars and has reduced United States troop presence in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. The news also comes as Trump faces backlash over allegations that he called United States troops losers and suckers. And he trails his opponent, former Vice President Joe Biden, in the polls just weeks ahead of the November 3rd presidential election. The announcement also comes 2 days after Trump accused Pentagon's leaders of waging wars to ensure contractors, quote, stay happy. All of this is interesting, and I would have to go see that losers and suckers thing. I don't know. I've been hearing that there's been actual clips, audio of him saying this, but then I'm hearing that there hasn't been audio of him saying these things, so I don't know. I haven't really looked into it too much, but I've been hearing this rhetoric, this kind of narrative over the last few days now. But it's just something I haven't gone and checked out yet. But I've heard that, like, let's hear it. Bring out the audio. Bring the tape. Let's see it. But I don't know. I haven't done my due diligence on those remarks of what he said. But I mean, here's the thing. It's like, go listen to our @the_No World Order podcast yesterday on IGTV. It'll be up. Audio only today, but I kind of give my thoughts on the military pretty good on that episode. Yeah, it's I don't agree with the military, especially being in these wars. We still need to bring 3,000 troops home still. Like, why are even 3,000 still there? Like, it makes no sense. Talk about endless wars, you're still gonna be there, so it doesn't make any sense. If you wanna join the military, and like, if the military was to protect us here on our soil, I get it. 100%. I would understand. Be proud of your country, fight for your country here. But also you need to understand that once you join the military, you're no longer one of us. You're no longer an American. You're actually government property. They own you. I mean, they kind of own all of us regardless. But even more strict, from my understanding, you don't even follow the Constitution, even though you uphold it. But you are government property. You're government people. So you don't operate like that. So it's because if the military did operate under the Constitution, we would not be in the wars that we're in. Straight up 100%. So it's all just bullshit, man. And I don't agree with the military and how it's been handled for as long as I can remember, man. Like, the idea of what it was supposed to be, I 100% agree with. Having a well-formed militia maybe in your town, I 100% agree with. staying here and fighting for your country here if there's a threat here, I 100% agree with. But going and joining to fight for these politicians and these bankers, and I can't agree with any of that. Not at all. What else? So yeah, go check out the _ No World Order podcast. We talk about Operation Warp Speed. We talk about the military. We talk about veganism, kind of, and how Miley Cyrus and Mike Tyson have kind of both came out on the Joe Rogan podcast, how they are no longer vegan. What's the deal with that? And then we also talk like Britney Spears and the connection with Miley Cyrus and stuff. So it was a good episode, I thought. And yeah, it was really heavy at first for like the first 35-40 minutes, kind of just dealing with Operation Warp Speed, vaccines, what's going on with all of that. And then yeah, we got into that other stuff towards the last 20-25 minutes or so. But yeah, interesting stuff for sure. But if you want more in-depth thoughts of how I feel about everything with the military, go check that episode out. Go give at the _ No World Order podcast a follow on Instagram. Zach is the one who mainly does that page. He's on there doing a lot of the interacting, comments, messages, and things like that. So shout out to him. He does all of the artwork for the channel as well. So all I do is just talk, man. That's all I do. Well, and I have the microphones and the laptop to record, like the equipment. So it's a team effort, man. 100% is a team effort. I'm not good at that Photoshop stuff, creating photos and all that. So if someone else can and Zach can, I'll delegate that to him. I'll let him do that stuff for sure. So Mackenzie said the force reduction is due to, quote, the great progress the Iraqi forces have made, and in consultation and coordination with the government of Iraq and our coalition partners. Quote, this reduced footprint allows us to continue advising and assisting our Iraqi partners in rooting out the final remnants of ISIS in Iraq and ensuring its enduring defeat. Man, hasn't Trump said, when ISIS is gone, we've defeated ISIS? So it's just always this invisible threat, always. The decision was due to the Iraqi security forces' increased ability to, quote, operate independently, end quote, Mackenzie said, stressing that the goal is, quote, an Iraqi security force that is capable of preventing an ISIS resurgence and of securing Iraq's sovereignty without external assistance. Trump is expected to also announce a reduction of troops in Afghanistan in the coming days. The United States has about 8,600 troops in the country, and the president said in an interview last month that he planned to reduce that number to about 4,000. So, yeah, it's like we're on the right step, but why are we going to keep 3,000 and why are we going to keep 4,000 in these other places? To me, that just doesn't make any sense. And I don't understand it. I really don't. It just, why? Like, what is the purpose of having these troops there? Like, what does it do? Like, honestly, is it just for show? Are we really protecting? Like, haven't we caused so much destruction? Like, I don't know, man. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I do appreciate, that he's bringing troops home, but yeah, I don't like the idea that some will still get left behind there, And that's just frustrating because they shouldn't be there in the first place. But I don't know. I don't know, man. It's It's frustrating. It is. And it's like, man, yeah, I don't trust it. Especially with, just go listen to the episode from yesterday on IGTV, because the military is mobilized. Trump has said it, and they're going to be the ones distributing the vaccine. And what does that even mean? And why is the military going to be involved with giving the vaccine? So it's just looking a little scary, you know? I don't like it. And, you know, people have, you know, accused me of being this Trump guy, but it's like, when I see these things, I will call out on both sides. This is probably the most you guys have seen me talk, you know, this about Trump, but it's like, dude, I don't like it. And if it's something I don't trust, if something raising my, you know, raising my eyes with this, like, I'm gonna talk about it, because I'm not just gonna blindly follow somebody, you know, not at all. I try and think for myself, you know, but interesting times, man. Interesting times. Let's get into this snap here. It's that Hercules again. Cheers. Alrighty. So, how long is this one? So it's a little long, but we'll get into it real quick. So no stimulus checks. This is from the Los Angeles Times. No stimulus checks for Americans and slimmed down GOP coronavirus relief package. Senate Republicans plan to vote Thursday on a new coronavirus bill, but it isn't likely to pass and is far less generous than the GOP plan unveiled just weeks ago. Senate Republicans plan to vote later this week on another economic relief package for Americans dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, but the slimmed down plan, which does not include new checks for individuals, is already a deal breaker for Democrats, ensuring that the stalemate will continue. God damn, dude. So frustrating. All of it is so frustrating. It's just a game to all of them, man. It's like, yeah, we're just pawns in their game, man. It's crazy. The Republican proposal would restore enhanced unemployment benefits through December 27, but halves the amount to $300 per week. It would also provide funding for schools and childcare centers, a new round of the popular Paycheck Protection Program, and liability protections for businesses. So it's like, dude, whatever, man. The unemployment, just get it going, you know? It's like, people are still unemployed, you know, people are still on that. I'm one of them, and it's like, I was, before this even happened, so whatever. I don't really want to go back to work. I'm still looking, but, you know, it's just one of those things. It's frustrating. But, yeah, I'm not really trying to take advantage of it. I don't know what's going on with my unemployment, but I haven't gotten a check in like a month or so now. So I don't know what's going on. But it should get going, I guess. I don't know, man. It definitely shouldn't be what it was, man. I was making way more being unemployed than I was when I was working. Like, because I wasn't working full time, because it was just based on this route and all of that. So, you know, but I was still working like 5 to 6 days, but still only hitting like 25 hours. It was ridiculous. So I was making more on this unemployment than I was working, and that should not be the case. It really should not be. But, you know, it got me somewhat ahead. I got, you know, a good part of my credit card bill paid off, and, was able to invest in some stuff, some equipment and things like that to kind of get this going at a more efficient rate and everything. But yeah, I mean, I understand how backwards that was. Like, that cannot be sustainable. So I don't know what the Democrats are thinking. I don't know what the Republicans are thinking, but I just know, like, people should be, if they've worked and they paid into it, they should be, getting these unemployment benefits if this pandemic is still going on and things still haven't fully opened up and returned back to normal. Like, people should not have to wear a mask to work. And I don't believe in that. I don't agree with it. And that's kind of a hindrance on my part of finding a job, So I don't know, man. I don't know. The $500 billion plan is far less than the minimum $2.2 trillion that the Democrats want to spend on a new package, and even less generous than the $1 trillion plan Republicans unveiled just weeks ago. In July, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell proposed a package that included $1,200 checks to many individuals and $500 for each qualifying child, but seemingly unable to get support from his own party's members. McConnell abandoned the provision for checks in the latest proposal. The new GOP effort is designed to pressure Democrats to move ahead with ideas both parties can accept rather than risking passing nothing at all. The two parties have been in a standoff over a new bill since House Democrats approved their own $3.4 trillion package in May. Oh my God, they're ridiculous. Are you kidding me? $3.4 trillion and they already did a $2.2 trillion? Like, get out of here. That's ridiculous. What the hell is wrong with the Democrats? McConnell, who has refused to bring up the House plan in the Senate on Tuesday, accused Democratic leader Charles E. Schumer and Nancy Pelosi of holding up further economic relief for political reasons, and that seems about right. If that's what's going on, man, that's just a joke, man. Like, 3.4 trillion, then you're gonna oh my God, man, it's crazy. Oh, it's all political. It's all a game. Like I said, we're just kind of pawns in their game. Like, we don't matter to them. It's just as long as their agenda and their political agenda gets taken care of, that's kind of all they care about. And, yeah, they don't care if we get how it affects us. So it's pretty crazy. Quote everything Speaker Pelosi and the Senate Minority Leader Schumer have done suggests one simple motivation. They do not want American families to see any more bipartisan aid before the polls close on President Trump's re-election. McConnell, I don't know why I keep trying to call him McConnell. McConnell said in a statement, they have taken Americans' health, jobs, and schools hostage for perceived partisan gain. And yeah, man, that seems exactly what's happening. It's really frustrating. What is this? Yeah. I'm just gonna finish up with that there, but it's frustrating, man. It just definitely seems like it's a game that's being played and we're being used, and it just seems like, I don't know, man. If they really wanted to give people checks and give people money, couldn't he just sign an executive order like he's done in the past with other things? Like, why is there this game? Why is there this standoff? If they really care, can't he just do that and force it to happen instead of having this standoff playing this game? I don't know. So to me, until I'm telling you, that's just what it feels like to me. It's just a game. And even the stuff with the Operation Warp Speed and the vaccine, and now how it's kind of led the Democrats and the left to be kind of anti-vaxxers almost. And people are saying Trump has kind of done this for that reason, to make them anti-vaxxers because he's made anti-vaccine statements in the past, but he wanted to put a vaccine out to then make them anti-vaccine, and then he could be like, oh, I was anti-vax. Like, and if that's the case, then it's just a game too. And why do we even need a vaccine if we're looking at the numbers of what's been going on? Like, man, it's all just, it's overwhelming. I'm telling you, it drives me crazy when you think about all of this stuff all the time. It drives you crazy, but it's just, you just see all the bullshit all over, man. And it's like, some people think they're awake, some people think they get it, but then they don't, you know? And then they'll just follow and stay in line. And just drink the Kool-Aid on whatever side it is. And I try not to, man. Like I said, I've been, you know, pretty... Well, the left has given me a lot of reasons to kind of defend Trump because they just lie so much. And I've seen it firsthand so many times. So it's like, I have to call it out. I have to, you know, I have to address it. But then I'll also address this shit that I don't like too. And I don't like some of the stuff that Trump has been doing recently. So I gotta call it out. Let's get into one more snap and I will get on out of here. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to do Cult of Gaming tomorrow just due to the internet and everything like that. I will try, but I wasn't able to last week. Kind of froze up right away. So we'll see. I will definitely try in the morning to do that, but again, the internet has been pretty bad lately, so we shall see. But I appreciate you still listening. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into this. All right, everybody. Thank you again. And I will be back Friday for another episode of the Real Word Podcast. Me and Zach are going to try and do an episode and have it drop on Friday as well for 9/11. We're going to try and do a 9/11 episode. So yeah, we're going to really try for that. And I will be back for another episode of this. Thank you, everybody. Till next time. Peace.